guys, so today I'll be coming at ya with an Earth Day video. Yes, this was me coming at ya. For those of you that don't know, Earth Day was March 22nd, last Tuesday, so I wanted to do a video talking about some easy ways to protect the environment and my favorite eco-friendly beauty products. I was going to be all earthy and film this video outside, but the earth decided to rain today, so you're just going to have to deal with my poor lighting inside today. It's important when we're thinking about the earth to think about living in a way that is sustainable for a long time to come. And we're pretty much not doing that right now. So here are my 10 super easy ways that you can start to create a more sustainable lifestyle and help save the earth. Did you know that almost everything you put into a trash can ends up in a landfill? And let's just think about landfills. Absolutely nothing sounds good about us sending all of our trash to just sit in one place on the earth forever. And if we think about it, landfills are not only kind of gross by design because they're these places that we just choose to go put all of our trash, but they release a ton of horrible methane, which is a greenhouse gas which is breaking down our environment. Recycling is one of the most sustainable things that we can do because we're reusing our resources. You can recycle almost everything from plastic and paper to aluminum and glass. You really just have to find out what facilities are available in your area and where you need to go. Recycling is a great way to reduce the amount of waste that you're sending to landfills, which will also help to reduce the amount of methane and greenhouse gases that are being released back into the air. It's also important to note that recycled goods are dramatically less damaging to the environment in manufacturing than non-recycled goods. One of the really cool things about being in California right now is that we're actually able to recycle some of our glass and cans for money, so that's a really exciting thing. We're not only being environmentally conscious, but also money conscious. Not only is carpooling economically savvy, but in using less cars, you're also reducing horrible carbon emissions, as well as traffic congestion and the need for parking spots. Turning off the water while brushing your teeth will save you 10 to 20 gallons of water a day, which is ridiculously much, and potentially even more depending on the number of people in your household. This not only helps to conserve water, which is especially necessary in times of drought like we've been experiencing in California, but it also will probably show up as savings on your water bill. Paper makes up 30% of American garbage, so if every American switched to an online bill paying option, it's estimated we would reduce solid waste in landfills by 800,000 tons a year, which would again really help to reduce greenhouse gas emissions also. Another great way to reduce waste going to landfills is by thinking about the little things that you use in your everyday life that really are a waste that you just use and throw directly away. Things like coffee stirrers. Next time you're going to stir your morning coffee, consider using something like pasta to stir the cup around, or of course a reusable spoon works also. This one is so easy, guys. A lot of us are still using incandescent light bulbs, which are just totally an energy bust. You or your family should consider switching to compact fluorescent light bulbs, which will use 75% less energy and they'll last up to 10 times longer. Switching to compact fluorescent light bulbs makes such a difference that I have recently read that they're even taking incandescent light bulbs off the shelves completely. Do you want to know how many plastic water bottles Americans put into landfills each year? About 19 billion. So let's go ahead and not add to the problem. Drinking water is one of the best things you can do for your health and beauty routine, so go ahead and invest in a cute reusable water bottle. That way you've still got water with you throughout the day, but you are not adding to the problem of water bottles going unrecycled in landfills. If you do decide to keep using plastic water bottles, make sure that you are doing number 1 and recycling. The negative health effects of especially red meat, as it's frequently mass-produced in America, is something that not all of us think about very often. Studies have shown that reducing the amount of red meat in American diets would reduce the amount of chronic disease by 3 to 12% in the American population. If any of you have ever driven past a what's called intensive livestock production facility, you know it's not really an easy thing to forget. There's usually a pretty horrible smell involved, and it's not a pretty sight to see. And as you can imagine, this kind of facility can have huge negative environmental effects. About 14% of greenhouse gas emissions can be accounted for by livestock, which is largely attributed to emissions created in manufacturing mass feed for livestock. I think skipping meat at least once a week can be really beneficial, and Kendall and I have chosen to do this in the form of Meatless Mondays. If every American family instituted at least one meatless day, it would have a great impact on the environment. But if going meatless is not something that you're willing to do for at least one day a week, definitely consider buying local meat, because that is still going to be a lot better for the environment. The way that local meat is raised will generally be a lot less harmful for the environment than these intensive livestock production facilities. Fruits and veggies at a farmer's market are generally a bit more seasonally driven, but they usually offer a local freshness, quality, and price that cannot be beat. Food purchased at a farmer's market has generally traveled less distance, resulting in reduced air pollution, and it's generally grown in a more environmentally friendly way, without unnatural chemicals or excess packaging. Americans seem to love plastic bags. You'll be at the grocery store and the person will put your milk in one bag and your eggs in a totally different bag and your cereal in a bag, and everything seems like it gets its own bag, which is just kind of ridiculous. I think this is ridiculous because I know that a single plastic bag can take up to 1,000 years to degrade. Plastic bags cost US retailers about $4 billion a year, and they frequently end up being used once, and then they end up in a landfill or an ocean. And that is just really not what we need to be doing with our plastic bags. The statistics that I read on how many plastic bags end up in the ocean each year is just a little bit absurd. They say collect a bunch of those cute recyclable bags and bring those with you to the grocery store. So that is it for my 10 easy ways to create a more sustainable lifestyle and or save the world. And now we can get right into my favorite eco-friendly beauty brands. Before I get too far into this part, I really wanted to explain a few different chemical type things that you have probably heard about before that are frequently found in our beauty products that can make them less environmentally friendly. And, you know, less good for our bodies. The first thing I wanted to talk about are parabens. They're used in products as preservatives to help prevent bacterial growth, and they are kind of a buzzword right now. Just so you guys know, parabens are not conclusively horrible. They mimic estrogen, causing a disruption that may lead to breast cancer or reproductive issues. It certainly doesn't hurt anything to avoid parabens, but the studies that linked parabens to these negative side effects were not really conclusive enough to imply anything with certainty. A lot of the products I'm going to mention today don't have parabens, but I like to really base my decisions in like science, and right now the science on the negative side effects of parabens is just really not there. Potentially the most dangerous chemicals I was reading about were phthalates, which are used as softeners in some personal care products and children's toys, but different varieties can also be found in some fatty foods. These are kind of more conclusively bad. They can affect the hormone testosterone, leading to decreased testosterone in boys and men, but also decreased testosterone in pregnant mothers, which can end up causing some birth defects. Phthalates can also lead to endocrine disruption, which can lead to a slew of other potential issues which should be investigated. The last chemical I wanted to talk about was sodium lauryl sulfate. This is used as an emulsifier and to produce foam in body washes, soaps, hair products, toothpaste, etc. If you look in your bath products, it's pretty much on like everything, sodium lauryl sulfate. This actually starts out pretty natural coming from coconuts, but it's contaminated with a toxic byproduct during manufacturing that could possibly lead to cancer or organ damage. Cosmetics aren't supposed to contain more than a concentration of 1% of sodium lauryl sulfate, and more than that can cause extreme irritation on your eyes and skin. When sodium lauryl sulfate is ingested, it can cause nausea and vomiting. So this can be a dangerous thing, but what studies are generally showing is that all you have to worry about is the potential danger of prolonged cumulative use. This is definitely a chemical that's being studied more right now. Finally, getting into the products, one of my first favorite eco-friendly beauty brands is Tarte. Tarte's tagline is high performance naturals, and they are definitely one of my favorite high-end brands. They're formulated without parabens, phthalates, and sodium lauryl sulfates, and they contain no synthetic fragrances and no gluten. Most importantly, their products are vegan-friendly and cruelty-free. I recommend trying the Tarte Lip Surgeons Lip Tint. This one is in the color Lucky. We all love The Body Shop, but did you know that The Body Shop is another brand that really cares and talks a lot about their values as a company? The Body Shop is one of the brands that's leading the charge against animal testing, and one of The Body Shop's core values is to protect the planet. If you go to their website, you'll see that they already have a clear plan in place to reduce energy consumption and waste production over the next 10 years. From The Body Shop, I definitely recommend trying a body butter. I really like this kind of springy one that is in the variety Floral Acai, and this is one of the ones that has two different kinds, one for normal skin and one for dry skin. If you have not tried one of the Body Shop's body butters, you should definitely give it a try. My third favorite eco-friendly beauty brand is J.R. Watkins, which you can buy at Target. This brand has been around for a really long time, like since the 1800s, and they've always placed a really high value on using natural ingredients. Their website says their products only include natural, environmentally friendly ingredients from renewable resources. This is also not just a beauty brand. They also have lines of plant-based biodegradable house care products, as well as 100% organic herbs and spices, and other things. Their products are formulated with no parabens or phthalates, and they're big promoters of sustainability. J.R. Watkins decreases their environmental footprint by using soy-based ink and biodegradable packing materials. They also have implemented lots of recycling programs throughout their company. One of my favorite J.R. Watkins products is the Naturals Apothecary Hand and Body Lotion. This is the aloe and green tea variety, and it says paraben-free, phthalate-free, propylene glycol-free, and dye-free. It is 98.02% natural. Burt's Bees is probably one of my longest used brands. They preach an all-natural formulation and also recycled minimalist packaging. They currently send no waste to landfills, all due to volunteer employees using recycling and composting and turning leftover waste into biomass-based fuel or electricity. They also work to conserve energy and recycle water in the manufacturing process. I really recommend the Burt's Bees hand salve. I really love this. It's made of all really normal, totally recognizable ingredients, and you can almost imagine someone mixing this in a kitchen. For my last eco-friendly beauty brand, I wanted to end with a bang, and how could I do a list like this without mentioning Lush? Lush has become extremely well known for their handmade, vegetarian-friendly products. They also use really great ingredients, and they strive to protect animals and have as minimal an impact on the environment as possible. Lush is known to support environmental groups and charities, as well as use little to no packaging, and all of their pots and bottles are made out of 100% post-consumer recycled plastic. Lush is also working to eliminate 100% of their waste from landfills, and they're working to conserve energy and recycle water in the manufacturing process. From this brand, I could not have more positive things to say about their solid shampoo. Solid shampoo is one of the coolest, best, eco-friendly things that you can get, and this one was like $6. Solid shampoos are so much more eco-friendly than liquid shampoos. They use no packaging, no preservatives, no harmful chemicals, and they are inexpensive. They also last forever. I really, again, cannot say enough amazing things about the solid shampoos offered at Lush, and if you are looking for one extremely eco-friendly product to try this year, it should be a solid shampoo bar from Lush. It is totally worth it. If you're interested in learning more about what ingredients are in these products and how these brands work to protect the environment, I will leave a couple of links down below to parts of their websites that talk about those things. I hope you guys learned a lot in this video. I really enjoyed making it, and taking care of the environment is something that's really important to me, so I'd love to hear your guys' feedback down below. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I have those links down below, but I'll also put my name right here in case you just need it to be that convenient. I hope you guys enjoyed learning some easy ways to save the earth with me, and I will talk to you next time. Love you. Bye.